A gentle saltiness, a sweetness, a tang, a zing, a buzz. Looks like a massive wedding cake, doesn't it? No, it's just loads of bubble wrap. Hello, you alright? Hope you're doing good, folks. This actually, what you're about to see on the screen right now is yesterday. Basically, for the last couple of days, this has been turned into a production line, our kitchen here. And the bubble wrap is basically a permanent feature right now. I'm halfway through fulfilling my Kickstarter orders for the veggie prep kits and the cake stands as well. And it's been rather full on indeed, but we're nearly there and I'm excited to get them out to you. And if you haven't got one, they will be on Amazon again very soon. Today's video, oh my gosh, I nearly dropped this, is a Taste the World recipe, and it is not a baguette. Oh no, I'd love to do that though. We should do French, just literally baguettes. We are doing Vietnamese banh mi today. I know Vietnamese, of course I do. Well, I don't, but apparently the word banh mi basically in Vietnamese just means bread, and we've got this amazing baguette here because we're going way beyond that. Yes, about 18 months ago when I was lucky enough to be in California, I had a banh mi sandwich, and I believe it's basically the context, what they call as Vietnamese street food is like a savoury sandwich, and the meat can vary. Sometimes it can be chicken, sometimes it can be pork, sometimes it can be a pate, but it's absolutely insane with pickled vegetables. So I'm going to do my best to replicate what I had in California that time, but ultimately it's a funky street food with a crunchy baguette. We've got pickled vegetables, we've got a marinated pork, oof, and a little bit of coriander just because nobody likes coriander on the internet. Other than the herbs and the meat, which I've already started and I'll show you in a minute, we've got a carrot, we've got some radishes and garlic. Now some of that's going to be pickled up, it's going to be gorgeous. I love pickled veg, it's amazing, that freshness, that crunchiness, that vibe, especially on a warm day, that just, Sorry, we've got some fish sauce, some rice wine vinegar, some plum sauce and some mayonnaise. Going to come together and create this epic sandwich. Right, the meat, let me show you. Yes, you've seen me do it before. Here we go, hello. Oh my gosh, you're nearly stuck. Now that right there is a pork tenderloin, sometimes known as a pork fillet. You don't have to use pork, you could use more vegetables, you could use whatever you want really. Chicken apparently is very common, but I suppose you could get away with halloumi if you're vegetarian. On the subject of substitutions, on a recent video I said, oh, don't worry if you've got a nut allergy, you could use this, and one of the things I said, very tongue-in-cheek, was Nutella. And I was thinking, yeah, you guys know me by now, they just go, yeah. Everyone was messaging me going, no, you can't say that. It was a joke. I do that in so many of my videos and a lot of you guys missed them. It's just banter. All right, but anyhow, as I say, freezing meat, this actually happens quite popular with steak. If you want it nice and thin, I stuck this in the freezer. Can you hear that? Oh! I think I stuck that in the freezer for, it's actually only been half an hour, about 15 minutes will do it. You just want to get that firm bite. But it should enable you, if I just turn a little bit more side on like this, I'm just gonna take a flat edge like that, you can get some really nice, super thin strips of pork tenderloin, and that is what we're after, my friends. This is the best time to do it. So work your way down it. And this works for other meats as well. It's just a really nice way to sort of freeze up the meat, and you can get these gorgeous little strips that will fit perfect in your sandwich. All right, that is beyond what I need today. So I'm gonna keep that back in the freezer for another recipe. And the great thing is, with this being so thin, like I say, it will cook nice and quick. We can marinate it now and get it right in there. So you could have done this step like days ahead. And also this step too. This is just a garlic clove. And for some reason, I figured I'd just, all the gadgets I've got, I thought today, do you know what? I'm just gonna go old school. Oh yeah, that smells amazing. We've got some fish sauce here. This is very popular like in Japanese cooking and stuff. And this is some rice wine vinegar. Very nice indeed, and we'll be using this again in a bit. And one of my most favorite things in the world, hoisin sauce. Oh! Equal parts really, you can do it by eye, that's what I've been doing. I really want to taste this, but I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to trust my nose because it smells amazing. It smells dunkable. And speaking of dunkable, I'm going to take those strips of pork tenderloin and just sit them inside like that, just to marinate. Now you could do this like overnight, if you had the time, you could even put it in the freezer again. But hopefully you can see that like with this marinade and those crunchy pickled vegetables and a fresh baguette, it's gonna make it rather stonking indeed. I just keep talking while I pile it on, but that's it done. Let's get our spoon and just stir it all around, get it all coated, get the garlic drenching it on there as well, all those sauces. Oh, smell that. Right, and for the first time ever since moving into this house, Rapmaster 3000 from the appliance garage. I love that thing. So this is perfect now. Get it nice and sealed by in the fridge, in the freezer. I'm going in the fridge. All right, a carrot and some radish. Is it radish? Radishes? Radishai? Radai? Red, dude. Apparently these are called French breakfast radishes. Normally our ones are more sort of rounder here, the standard ones you get in the UK. It doesn't matter. It's still a radish as far as I can tell. I hope it is. So I'm gonna give it a wash, trim the bottom and the top, and cut it thinly for pickling. But seriously, if you can't be bothered, you could get, well, a Barry Lewis veggie prep kit. You could get yourself a peeler, anything you want. But I just love that. That's awesome. All right, so the radish is going in there, and the only other thing that we're going to pickle, although you could chuck loads more, you could put cucumber in there. All right, I'm going to give this a wash, and we'll Julienne the Carrot. That's the international action for julienning. So Barry Lewis peeler. We probably will be selling these separately soon. It's just they're in the veggie prep kit, and obviously they were more the priority at first. And this is the julienne peeler as well. So all I'm doing is working just down the carrot, getting these sort of like bits of hair of carrot, isn't it? Right, so we're pushing that carrot in with the radish like that. Little bits escaped. Run for your lives. So the radish and the carrot is about to be pickled. Little English lesson for you if you're ever in trouble, or if you're a little bit in a situation you're like, oh no, you're in a bit of a pickle, all right? I want everyone around the world saying that, I'm in a pickle. Apart from British people, we say it all the time. So this is just my preference when it comes to pickling. That was a teaspoon of sugar. I like the idea of sweet and salty, you know? And the tang of the vinegar, which we'll come to. Now an unnecessary salt bay. Just like that. And then last but not least, the rice wine vinegar. Again, it just seems like a less aggressive vinegar. I don't know if I can explain it like that. But it doesn't seem to like sting the nostrils as much as, I nearly did an Anchorman reference then, but it doesn't seem to be as impact and powerful. It's sort of mild and but still pickly, you know? But working with the sugar and the salt, it's gonna really give these, it's gonna bring it back to life. So I've just shimmied that round with one hand. I'm gonna wash the hands, Rapmaster again. I'm gonna stick that in the fridge as well for about 20 minutes, and then we just bring it all together. Stonking. All right then folks, just while I'm waiting for that to pickle and marinade, leave it as long as you can. I mean, not for years, but you know what I'm saying. Well, pickles, you could leave for years. So it's the art of preservation, which sounds like an album title. Anyhow, for those of you that are Patreon supporters, I've got an amazing giveaway coming up soon. For those of you that don't know about Patreon, I do early access to videos, you name it at the end of each video, and also a signed giveaway. It's normally gadgets from gadget videos that I sign and do a little raffle. You also get a bonus video / podcast that no one else gets to see. Now, here's an emotional time for me. We've got the Queen, Homer and Mr. Bean up there. Now these cardboard cutouts have been with me through years, through thick and thin, but I'm going to replace them, get new ones, and I'm going to sign, Mrs. Barry and the kids as well, we're going to all sign these and give them away each month for the next couple of months raffle. So if you're not a patron, I know times are hard right now, there's absolutely no obligation, but I just want to do a little tease for people that are our Patreon supporters that this is actually going to be the giveaway on the next few videos, so keep an eye out for that. I just love the fact that these could end up in like someone's bedroom on another side of the world, but good luck. Alrighty, so I've just preheated my oven to a medium temperature, and I've got my baguette. I've just sliced the ends off. I've just done it for symmetrical purposes, really. I prefer the end, but since meeting Mrs. B, she always does that. She buys a baguette and just takes a little bit off the end, and then I eat it. If you actually want the truth, that's what I just did. It was very nice. Sorry. I should use a serrated knife for this really, but I wanted a sort of smoother cut, and this knife is super sharp. And then now I've got almost like a baguette that I can toast like that with these sides facing. Now mayonnaise and the hoisin sauce, or plum sauce, whatever you call it, is going to go on either side of those, but we want to bake it first. Like my kitchen is starting to have like my name on it everywhere. It's very weird. My oven's preheated. It's going to go in just to toast it through. Nice bit of crunch inside. Ooh. In they go. Da, 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 da. I reckon about 10 minutes or so. Now that is optional, but you're just going to get a little crunch on the inside, and then you're going to break into that soft bread. That for me was what it was all about, that balance of really crunchy, crusty, oh, baguette, softness, and then crunch again, and then zing, and then marinade. Oh. Hey Boston, you know what? I hope no one from Vietnam gets offended by my attempt at this recipe, because they might ban me. All right, so we're gonna griddle it. This is my favorite pan. It's kind of like flipping a coin. Sometimes it smokes, it's like crazy. Other times it's like, hey, I'm your friend. Let's see what happens today. Whoop. All right, a little bit of vegetable oil in there. Just gonna warm it up for about a minute on a medium-low flame. Now you can get a pastry brush if you want and just make sure that the oil is nice and spread around on the grates. That'll be great. All right, just adding my last little bit on there. A little bit of marinade in there, but it should simmer down anyway. About 4 to 5 minutes. Let it sit for a while at first, then we'll mix it through for the last couple of minutes. So I've let all the marinade and the oil cook off, and you can just leave it, and look, you get this lovely char marks on the pork. Oh, that is what we're after. Oh, amazing, it didn't smoke. Kitchen towel. Oh, just by adding that charness to it as well, it smells insane, and that marinade would have clinged to it. Just check that out, that looks amazing. Oh, there is so much flavour going on in there. The zing, the punch, the sweetness. That is going to be phenomenal in that sandwich. Oh! And all the while I've been doing that, the bread's still baking, by the way. It's just like, hey, I'm taking my time. All right, folks, this is some freshly chopped coriander. So some coriander, just freshly chopped. That's why it's called freshly chopped coriander. Pickled vegetables sat patiently waiting, ready to add to the meat we've just tasted. Oh, and I got my bread out just then, which I nearly burnt. It's very golden. Very golden. Yes, loving the colour of it. So we've got the bottom half, which is going to have your mayo. I've always found like cooking with pork like quite dry. So adding this extra moisture as well to it, I mean, we've marinated it, which is going to help, but all of this extra flavour and texture is really going to back it up. It's just going to be a huge medley of fun. Oh, Hoisin sauce. So I'm just doing this in small batches because I don't want to completely overfill it. I want it to absorb into the bread. Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, bottom of the baguette is going on. And then I'm just taking that charred meat and just sticking it on there. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to go quite high on it. Oh my gosh. I've still got a little bit left. No, that's too much. And then plunging my hands into this cold, slightly chilled, pickled veg. Oh, yes. And I've just remembered the one that I had, the coriander was actually like not chopped. It was like big old stalks. I don't know, I quite like it like that. Just sort of subtle. And then after all that madness, our hoisin sauce lid just goes down like that. Oh my gosh. I'm very excited. Oh. Look at it. It's like a work of art. I love it. I'm probably going to slice this in half so Mrs. Barry can try some too. It's only fair. All right, let's just give this a slice. Oh my gosh, that crunch. Oh my gosh, my lid fell off. But it's all good. Right, one for me, one for Mrs. B. Aside from texture, which I feel is a massive thing in cooking, like the crunch of the bread, the softness, but the crispness of the vegetables, I just love the colour fusion there. Ah. There is so much going on in there. There's like a gentle saltiness, a sweetness, a tang, a zing, a buzz. The softness of that pork is delightful. Then the crunch, you must have heard the crunch of the bread. The herbs just going, hey, I'm a herb. The pickledness, the carrots, the radish. Okay, I can't generally remember if this is identical to what I had, but the fusion of flavours right here is absolutely sensational. If you've missed any of the other videos here on the Taste of World playlist, check it out, get some inspiration. Do try this, or if you try any other recipes, send me a picture on social media. Don't forget to subscribe for regular videos, and if you've got any ideas for future ones, let me know down below. This is outstanding.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
There she goes.
Very, very nice. I like it.
Yeah?
Best sandwich in the world.